In this video, we'll be taking a look at 5 college basketball games happening on December 4th, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 10 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 5 college basketball games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start, if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Utah State versus South Florida. Utah State steps into Tampa with the steady posture of a group that already knows what kind of game it wants. The Aggies light up the floor with strong shooting inside and out, and they keep that rhythm with a scoring margin that reflects control rather than luck. They also benefit from the recent return of their veteran point guard, who recovered from an ankle sprain in time to guide the offense with a calm hand. South Florida brings a different identity, one built on high possession counts, heavy contact, and long stretches of loose structure. The Bulls score often, but they also give plenty back on the other end, and the absence of a senior forward due to an Achilles injury leaves their front court thinner than they would prefer. Oddsmakers set this matchup with a modest road number that implies a tight contest, yet the contrast in stability, shot selection, and defensive habits sets a clear tone for which team offers the stronger profile in this setting. As our first pick for this matchup, the Utah State Aggies to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total enters the conversation with a number in the low 160s, which signals an expectation of non-stop scoring. That figure leans on recent box scores, but it ignores how quickly a high total can stall when one team forces longer possessions or limits clean looks. Utah State's defense plays with discipline at the point of attack and inside the arc, and it often nudges opponents into late clock decisions. South Florida plays fast, but does not shoot the three at a reliable clip, and that lack of accuracy adds volatility to a number this large. The Bulls also depend on free throws to keep their scoring afloat, which can interrupt pace and reduce total possession count. Combined with limited front court depth while a senior forward remains out with an Achilles injury, the flow of the game can tilt toward longer stretches of half-court play. A total this high needs both offenses to hit rhythm at the same time, which becomes difficult against a defense that forces patience and runs shooters off their first options. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. The Citadel versus Davidson. Davidson steps into its home floor with a steady approach shaped by a 6-1 record, and that form shows in how they run sets with purpose and limit wasted trips. The Citadel arrives at 2-6, and its recent outings show long scoring droughts that place extra strain on its defense. Davidson leans on a group that moves well without the ball and finishes plays at a high clip. Their interior size creates clean looks near the rim, and their perimeter threats pull defenders out of position. The Citadel often relies on a single score to spark its offense, and when that option faces tight coverage, the rest of the lineup struggles to create rhythm. Davidson's spacing, pace control, and deeper rotation tend to produce consistent scoring stretches that are hard to match for teams still searching for identity on the road. As our first pick for this matchup, the Davidson Wildcats to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Davidson pushes the ball when it sees an opening and uses quick passes to generate early offense. Their roster shoots well enough to stretch a defense, which raises the number of scoring chances in each half. The Citadel takes many three-point attempts, so its possessions often end early in the clock. Misses can turn into runouts for Davidson, while makes can force a quicker response. Both teams have played games where scoring rose fast once the pace settled into long rebounds, open space, and rhythm jumpers. The range of outcomes shifts toward a higher total when each side leans into its natural tendency to fire from the perimeter and avoid long, grinding sets. As our second pick for this matchup, over the projected total is our full game total pick. Rider versus Merrimack. Merrimack plays at home with a steady rhythm that often pulls visiting teams out of what they want to run. Their style leans on long half-court possessions, tight spacing, and a patient tempo that forces opponents to work harder for simpler shots. Rider prefers a looser flow that comes from early offense and quick reads, but that approach can shrink on the road when every trip feels heavier. The gym favors the team that controls the cadence, and Merrimack tends to do that with calm precision. The environment rewards discipline, not speed, and that puts steady pressure on a visiting group that usually needs more room to breathe. As our first pick for this matchup, the Merrimack Warriors to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Merrimack often slows the floor with long stretches of deliberate sets that remove easy transition outlets. Ryder usually responds to that type of game by settling into the same pattern, which limits the total number of possessions. The flow becomes a series of measured attacks rather than fast exchanges. Both teams end up working deeper into the shot clock and the game shifts into a patient, physical, half-court contest. The scoring often reflects that, because fewer possessions leave less room for sudden swings. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Long Beach State versus UC Santa Barbara. The Thunderdome sets the scene for a meeting that often tilts on rhythm, control, and which side settles into its preferred style first. UC Santa Barbara brings a record of 6-2 to the floor and handles possessions with a steady hand that limits waste. The group moves the ball with purpose, uses space well, and draws contact that slows the game into measured stretches. Long Beach State arrives at 2-6 and comes off a needed lift from a strong scoring night by its freshman guard. Yet the larger body of work still points to uneven execution on both ends. UC Santa Barbara's half-court approach fits its roster, which leans into balance, spacing, and free throw creation. Long Beach State often searches for flow and depends on spurts rather than sustained control. The predictive models that rate UC Santa Barbara about 10 points stronger on a neutral court, along with the home setting, help frame how these styles meet inside a building that rewards poise more than pace. As our first pick for this matchup, the UC Santa Barbara Gauchos to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Each side prefers games in the mid-60s for possession count, which lowers the room for inflated scoring swings. UC Santa Barbara scores well but does so through patient sets, touches in the paint, and steady trips to the line. These actions burn time and tilt the clock in long segments without rush sequences. Long Beach State has relied on flashes from its young guard to spark its offense, yet the broader efficiency profile still sits below average, and the defense does not force the kind of chaos that speeds up scoring. With both units more comfortable in structured environments, the posted total of 147.5 sits higher than what their combined pace and efficiency suggest. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. UC Davis versus Hawaii. Hawaii steps into its Big West opener at home with a strong run behind them. They have 6 wins to 2 losses inside their own arena, and they have built those results on steady defense, consistent trips to the line, and a calm sense of control in long possessions. UC Davis arrives at 5-2 with a road upset of Nevada already in hand, which shows they can handle a tough setting. The contrast sits in how each group handles pressure. UC Davis prefers a smooth pace that rewards clean looks. Hawaii leans into contact, forces opponents to grind, and uses that style to create space as the minutes pass. The travel to Honolulu and the later local tip only add more weight to that dynamic. These factors point to a matchup where the home side's physical approach and foul pressure shape the flow from start to finish without relying on streaky shooting or sudden swings. As our first pick for this matchup, the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors to cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The total presents a different kind of puzzle. The surface numbers point to offense, with Hawaii producing in the low 80s and UC Davis landing in the high 70s. Both teams have shot well this season, and UC Davis has found success mixing perimeter touches with patient movement. The setting shifts that picture. Conference openers often slow down because both staffs know each other's habits. Hawaii has guarded at a high level and held opponents near the low 60s while controlling the glass and limiting clean looks. UC Davis has shown they can settle into a slower rhythm on the road if it keeps them in reach late. The long flight and the later start often mute early tempo, and Hawaii's ability to draw fouls tends to break the game into shorter segments with more stoppages and fewer long runs. These ingredients create a matchup where methodical possessions outweigh fast bursts. As our second pick for this matchup, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.